2.9 million years ago, the Earth was not kind. Thunder split the sky over the vast African savanna. The wind howled across golden grass, carrying the scent of predators and fire. But through the mist, a small tribe emerged, walking upright for the first time. Uncertain and afraid, yet driven by something no creature had ever felt before: curiosity. They were not beasts, not yet human, but something within them was beginning to awaken. They crouched in silence, hidden by the tall grass. Ahead, lions tore into the flesh of a fallen buffalo, the air thick with blood and flies. The tribe watched, trembling between terror and fascination. They didn't run, they waited, learning in the shadows of predators. For the first time, survival was no longer just instinct, it was observation. They were beginning to understand the hunger carved lessons into their bones. A gazelle broke from the herd, swift as the wind. Alone, no one could catch it, but they ran together. Lungs burning, feet pounding dust. Each breath was pain, yet each stride drew them closer. They didn't know the word for teamwork, but they felt it. For the first time, survival became a shared rhythm. One stumbled, his body collapsing into the dirt. The others paused. Instinct said, "Leave him. The herd must move or die." But something stronger held them, a pull that had no name. Two hands reached down, lifting the fallen to his feet. And in that moment, empathy was born, the first choice. When one did not rise again, they stayed beside the body. The night fell heavy with silence. They did not understand death, but they felt its weight. One reached out, touching cold skin, unwilling to leave. Grief had entered the world. Then came the storm, wild, violent, divine. Lightning split the sky, and fire roared to life from a broken tree. They screamed, afraid of the orange beast that devoured wood and rain. Yet when the thunder faded, they crept closer, drawn by warmth. The air shimmered, their faces glowing red. Fear turned to fascination. For the first time, they touched power. The storm passed, but fire remained. Sparks became torches, torches became light in the dark. Around the flames, they shared warmth, food, and safety. Shadows on cave walls flickered like spirits telling stories. And in those shadows, imagination was born. The tribe was no longer just surviving. But the world was never empty. Across the valley, another clan watched. Hungry eyes, sharpened stones, hearts pounding. They looked at each other and saw not animals, but rivals. One shout shattered the silence. The age of cooperation met the dawn of conflict. Rivers burst their banks, sweeping away everything they knew. Mothers clutched children, men gripped stones, their lives hanging by fingers and faith. They climbed toward the cliffs, feet bleeding, hearts breaking. And when the valley drowned below, they looked around and realized they had survived because they saved each other. Morning came, golden and silent. They stood on high ground, soaked, trembling, alive. Below them, the world reborn in mud and light. They had learned something eternal. The only way to endure this world was together. By the glow of the fire, one lifted a stone and struck another. Sparks flew, edges sharpened. A new sound echoed in the cave creation. A child watched, then mimicked the motion. Knowledge passed from one mind to another, silently, instinctively. From struggle came strength. From loneliness came us. From fear came fire.
2 million years ago, the world spoke only in storms and wind. The earth trembled beneath bare feet. In the tall grass, silence was survival. A glance, a lifted hand, signals older than speech. One night, the rhythm began. A hollow log, a heartbeat echoed by firelight. The air filled with flames danced, and mouths began to shape noise into purpose. The crackle of fire met the pulse of sound. Then laughter broke the silence. A child's joy rippled through the night like music. For the first time, on the cave walls, they began to remember marks of beasts, of hunts, of dreams. Each stroke said, when the fire faded, they stayed together, no longer out of fear, but belonging, a hand on a shoulder. Time unfolded, and the sparks became cities. Stone turned to steel, whispers to symphonies. Dawn, again, the horizon endless. They walked together, just as we do now, still searching. Survival demanded strength, but strength alone was never enough. Together, they moved as one, each heartbeat echoing another, and they start chasing animal together. Fire was more than warmth. It was memory, carried in light, and those who guarded it became keepers of tomorrow. In color and shadow, they found imagination, the power to see not only what is, but what could be. Within those walls, the mind learned to dream. Before words, there was rhythm, the beat of hands, the rise of voices, the hum of life itself. Sound became the bridge between hearts, the first language of belonging. In their gaze lived tomorrow, the question, the dream, the spark, and from that spark, light returned to the world. From their wonder, the world was born again. 1,000,000 dawns later, we still rise, still seek, still wonder, for the fire that began in the dark has never gone out. As the tribes grew, so did their need for unity. One voice began to rise, not by strength alone. Through the quiet night, the fire spoke in light. In the dance of flame, they saw dreams to take shape, visions. They began to carve the invisible into stone, not just what was seen, but what was remembered. Around the fire, rhythm became language. Each sound, a thread binding heart to the beginning. In color and shadow, they found imagination, the power to see not only what is, but what could be. Then came a sound that carried meaning, not a cry, but a connection. The first name, the sound of belonging. Time began to move with them. Every step a story, every trail a memory written in earth. They looked up and saw meaning in the stars. The heavens became a mirror for the mind, a canvas for the... From silence came song, from fire came thought, from togetherness came us. Time moved like water, always forward, never still. What began as a spark had become a current, carrying each ripple was a memory, each reflection a thought. The river remembered everything, even the echoes. And when the light returned, it found new eyes waiting. Eyes that no longer feared the dark, but understood. This was not the end, only the dawn. Beyond the dawn, for every generation would rise again. The wind carried their stories beyond the plains, whispers of the first dreamers, still echoing. Across water and time, the fire they found became light, the light that guides every hand reaching toward tomorrow. From stone to song, from silence to story, their voice became the rhythm of the world itself. Even when all else fades, the ember remembers. And so the story continues, carried in every word we speak, every light we kindle, every dream. Before memory, before language, the world waited, silent. They walked without knowing why, only that something beyond instinct was pulling. A storm broke the horizon, and for the first time they looked up. A spark leapt from stone, tiny, fragile, yet powerful enough. They did not run. They gathered. They reached toward the warmth. Around the fire, a circle formed, not of survival, but of belonging. Something shifted, a feeling no creature had ever shared connection. Shadows danced, and the darkness became a canvas for imagination. A single mark, a sign of thought, preserved for those who would come long after. Together they moved like one heartbeat, stronger than fear, faster than hunger. For the first time, life felt not like struggle, but possibility. Inside them grew something new, a whisper of tomorrow calling from within. Hands that once only survived, now created. They began a journey that would shape continents, civilizations, worlds. By the river, they discovered reflection, not just of faces, but of possibility. Every footstep carved a road where none existed, a promise to worlds yet unseen. The sky roared, but they did not turn back. Courage was becoming their compass. In the fire, they found resolve, light, that no storm could silence. What began as survival became creation, the rise of invention. At the peak, they saw not their limits, but their beginning. At the peak, they saw not their limits, but their beginning. Without words, they made a vow to move forward together. Every step they left behind became a message to the future. They moved toward the horizon, knowing it was only the first of many. As the first light of morning washed over the endless plains, they stood at the edge of a world still shaping itself. Behind them lay fire, fear, storms, and the shadows of countless nights, yet they endured. Before them stretched a horizon wide enough to hold every dream they did not yet have words for. In that rising sun, they felt something ancient and unstoppable, the quiet certainty that their journey was no accident. Before stories, before memory, there was only silence and the sky watching. They feared the dark, but feared the thought of being unseen even more. So they gathered, drawn by the flame that held the night at bay. And one among them looked upward and wondered what waited beyond. The stars felt alive, whispering secrets in the cold air. Then the sky changed, as if answering their unspoken call. They lifted fire toward the heavens, offering light for light. In that gesture, belief was born. The wind became a voice, ancient, gentle, and waiting. Shadows danced like spirits returning home. Their movements became rhythm, and rhythm became meaning. A burning trail swept the heavens, and awe became devotion. They believed the sky held the spirits of those who came before. So they carved their questions into stone. Each mark a bridge between earth and sky. In the quiet, the night became their teacher. They saw how fire rose, as if longing to return home. Light fell to earth, carrying stories older than breath. And one listened, hearing meaning in the silence. With trembling voice, the first story was spoken, a story about light falling into darkness and rising again. They felt the truth of it, not in words, but in the heart. The flame grew, as if remembering with them. And hope rose with the new light. They believed the sky had chosen them to rise. They felt the ancestors in every wind that touched their skin, a piece of the sky carried in their hands. Led not by maps, but by meaning, fire became their compass. They drew what they felt: time, breath, sky. The world spoke back in thunder, but they stood tall, unafraid. They offered not fear, but gratitude, a path shaped not by feet, but by belief. Light spoke through the clouds, telling them to continue. The sky story lived on, passed from voice to voice. And fire remembered for them. Above them the sky kept watch, ancient, patient, eternal. And so began the first legend, the day the sky awakened, and humans awakened with it. So they walked, carrying the first myth inside them like fire. They walked beyond the world they knew, toward a horizon that promised more than survival. For the first time, they dreamed not of danger, but of possibility. They carved their courage into the earth, so future footsteps would never be lost. The wind rose against them, but they rose higher. They carried fire not as warmth, but as identity. And everywhere they touched, the earth remembered their footsteps. From flame, from sky, from silence, humanity awakened, and their journey became our beginning. The world drowned in darkness, a night deeper than memory itself. A band of wanderers moved through the void, guided only by breath and instinct. Their path faded with every step, erased by the wind before dawn could remember it. No stars, no moon, only the fragile rhythm of beating hearts. An elder whispered that the sky had not vanished, only our courage had. Then came the sound, a distant howl, thin as a blade cutting the wind. Fear chased them across the plains, urging them to seek shelter in forgotten places. The stone circle felt older than fear itself, silent, watching. There, in trembling silence, they waited for the dark to pass. But darkness does not break by itself, it must be challenged. A spark leapt, small, weak, but alive. A single ember became a fragile flame, defying the endless night. Shadows rose around them, shifting like ancient spirits awakened. Beyond the circle, eyes glowed, waiting for the flame to fail. But they did not flee. For the first time they stood together. The wind howled and clawed, but the flame refused to bow. Then, high above, the darkness began to thin. A single star trembled into existence, tiny yet eternal. One star became many, like forgotten memories returning home. The tribe lifted their eyes, seeing hope reflected above them. The elder spoke. The sky never left. We simply stopped listening. With the stars returned, the night felt less like an enemy and more like a guide. Predators retreated, shrinking back into the darkness they ruled. Silence became peace, not fear. Around the flame, voices rose, telling the first stories of the stars. One drew shapes in the air, the hunter, the beast, the river of light. These stories were more than words, they were survival. They learned that meaning could be found not only in earth, but in the sky. Night passed, but the fire did not die. And as dawn approached, shadows retreated once more. They stepped beyond the stone circle, changed forever. No longer wanderers, but seekers. They followed the sky's map, not with fear, but with purpose. Their journey became the first migration for meaning, not survival. Every step carried the memory of the night the world returned. The elder's teaching spread farther than his name.
20 lakh years ago, survival wasn't about luxury. It was about life or death.
Spread out. Circle them. Spread out. Circle them. Spread out. Circle them. Spread out. Circle them.
The Homo habilis reach a sheltered clearing, partly hidden by rocks.
Hooray!
The Homo habilis reach a sheltered clearing, partly hidden by rocks.
Hooray!
Smoke the Homo habilis reach a sheltered clearing, partly hidden by rocks.
Hooray!
The Homo habilis reach a sheltered clearing, partly hidden by rocks. The flames raised by the Homo habilis frighten the musk ox, forcing it to retreat.
Ahead, life itself. The herd, unaware, grazes at the riverbed.
Stone, sharp as hunger, a weapon born from earth and will.
Terror floods the prey, the hunters reflected in its final sight.
The weak stumble. The strong close in.
A thrust, a strike, the moment where survival becomes death. The circle closes, spears rain down. Death seals the hunt.
Life returns to the earth. A struggle for survival. Victory. But the savannah watches. From the grass, another hunger awakens.
Stone on stone. Fire against fear.
Flame rises. The savannah's balance shifts.
Predators retreat. Fire is power.
Meat torn free, marrow cracked. The feast begins.
They eat. They live. But the savannah listens still.
Storms rise, sudden and merciless. Fire's gift flickers. The sky smothers fire. Warmth is lost to the storm. They fight the storm, clutching life against the flood. Nature wounds, but nature heals. The savannah becomes a beast. Shelter is fragile.
Warriors cannot strike storms. They endure.
The storm steals what hunger cannot spare.
They guard each other, waiting for night. Once fire ruled, now water takes its crown. The old give warmth. The young cling to tomorrow. The storm passes, but peace is never long.
Others walk here. The savannah holds rivals.
Instinct speaks. Defend, protect, endure. Strangers bring choice, fight or flee. Another tribe watches. Hunger binds all.
The young see war before they know its name.
They are a trade. Or a test.
Trade is survival. Yet mistrust burns hotter than hunger.
Balance hangs thin. One spark could break the silence. The line between kin and enemy begins to fade. Savannah kin, now divided. Hunger drives them to war. One signal, and blood will feed the earth. The spark is struck. The silence shatters. The savannah drinks the first human war cries.
Mothers become walls of protection. Survival begins in their embrace.
Strength meets strength. Slitty, Chai. Only one can rise. The prize that brought them together now tears them apart. One wound births a storm of vengeance. But the savannah holds greater jaws than man. The true king arrives, and silence falls. The line between kin and enemy begins to fade. The weak falter first beneath nature's gaze. Death comes swift, jaws closing faster than thought. The savannah chooses its master with blood.
Neither side claims victory. Only the lion feeds. Scars burn, hunger gnaws. Yet breath remains. The king keeps his throne. Man must wander on.
The fire is gone. Fear gnaws deeper than hunger.
But flame is born again there, from pain, from will.
Fire returns. With it, courage.
From earth comes healing. From touch comes strength.
Some wounds heal into strength. Some shadows reveal the path.
The night has passed. The journey begins again.
The river guides them, quenches thirst, restores strength. Beyond the cradle lies promise. A land untaken.
Together, they endure. Together, they claim tomorrow.
For the first time, man walks not only to survive, but to endure.
The earth cracks beneath their feet. Hunger presses harder than the sun.
The weak are carried, the young protected. Still, the path must be walked.
The herd is near. Hoofprints guide the hunters.
Meat means life, but life must be taken with risk.
The chase begins. Strength unleashed in hunger's name. One falls. Victory within reach. Teeth, stone, and wood carve survival into the dust.
The hunt ends. Life continues.
But meat calls others. The savannah never gives freely. Fire blooms. Fear turns teeth to silence.
The sun, a burning eye, glared down on a world stripped bare.
Life clinging drop by drop.
This is the gamble of the hunt, a deadly dance between survival and instinct. The hunt is a gamble, a dangerous dance between survival and instinct. In the struggle for life, strength meets resistance.
Though victory was theirs, a shadow of danger followed their every step.
In a world that often tests our strength, love becomes our quiet shield.
The savannah does not forgive weakness. It demands vigilance, for the hunter can quickly become the hunted. Fire, a gift as fragile as life itself, whispered from the breath of the world.
Fire, a beacon of defiance, a weapon against the night's hungry shadows.
From bone and ash, life found its sustenance. Children inherit not just life, but the burden of survival itself.
Through these calloused hands, knowledge is not merely passed. It is forged and imbued with the weight of generations.
Storms are the merciless rulers of the savannah.
The first rain. A blessing and a trial.
The tribe, pressed flat against the earth, was dwarfed by nature's fury.
Love becomes the tribe's quiet shield.
From the storm, we rise into the embrace of a new day.
Healing is survival's second fire. Below them, a land of unimaginable bounty. A new beginning.
They stepped into lands untaken by their kind.
The land, a living map, tells a story to those who know how to read it.
The women of the tribe carry their silent burdens.
The land, a living map, tells a story to those who know how to read it. The passing of strength between generations.
Witness life, 2.9 million years ago.
I take a life to sustain a life.
Warmth and food, humanity's first ritual.
Fire is the eternal inheritance of our tribe. As dusk falls, night becomes both guardian and predator.
Witness life 2.9 million years ago. These smallest lives were carried through endless migration.
Witness life 2.9 million years ago. Every moment is a struggle for survival.
Fire, a shield against the hungry dark.
Courage, glowing brighter than fear. Witness life 2.9 million years ago. Race. These children of hunger and flame live in a world both harsh and beautiful. Witness life 2.9 million years ago. A never-ending march of days, one after another, without rest.
Rival bands are drawn by the same hunger. This savannah, this ancient land, was a battleground.
In the crucible of primal confrontation, the very fire of survival was forged.
Violence is as old as hunger.
Every scar is the price of survival.
The greatest leaders were flarers of courage.
From the very dawn of time, struggle was the heart of the savannah.
Master of fear, master of silence. What could compel such fierce warriors to unite in terror?
It is a moment when two worlds collide, the hunter and the hunted.
In desperation, defiance was carved. In this harsh land, life hangs by a thread.
Witness the savannah's final law, where all bow before the predator. In the wild, fear is the great equalizer. Their mutual hatred was forgotten in the face of a common, terrifying enemy. Watchfulness is the currency of life in this unforgiving land.
Is it fire?
What is that?
I do not know.
Is it a fire?
Sharp flakes scatter. The first crafted stone tools of Homo habilis are born.
Look, it cuts so easily.
Whoa! This is incredible. What is that? A primal howl. Feel the warmth, not the flame.
Their journey has carved unity, courage, and memory into their being.
Here, in this fire, humanity was born. Their story, born of struggle, courage, and unity, marks the dawn of humanity.
2.9 million years ago, the Earth was not kind. Thunder split the sky over the vast African savanna. The wind howled across golden grass, carrying the scent of predators and fire. But through the mist, a small tribe emerged, walking upright for the first time. Uncertain and afraid, yet driven by something no creature had ever felt before: curiosity. They were not beasts, not yet human, but something within them was beginning to awaken. They crouched in silence, hidden by the tall grass. Ahead, lions tore into the flesh of a fallen buffalo, the air thick with blood and flies. The tribe watched, trembling between terror and fascination. They didn't run. They waited, learning in the shadows of predator. For the first time, survival was no longer just instinct. It was observation. They were beginning to understand the hunger carved lessons into their bones. A gazelle broke from the herd, swift as the wind. Alone, no one could catch it, but they ran together. Lungs burning, feet pounding dust. Each breath was pain, yet each stride drew them closer. They didn't know the word for teamwork, but they felt it. For the first time, survival became a shared rhythm. One stumbled, his body collapsing into the dirt. The others paused. Instinct said, "Leave him. The herd must move or die." But something stronger held them, a pull that had no name. Two hands reached down, lifting the fallen to his feet. And in that moment, empathy was born, the first choice. When one did not rise again, they stayed beside the body. The night fell heavy with silence. They did not understand death, but they felt its weight. One reached out, touching cold skin, unwilling to leave. Grief had entered the world. Then came the storm, wild, violent, divine. Lightning split the sky, and fire roared to life from a broken tree. They screamed, afraid of the orange beast that devoured wood and rain. Yet when the thunder faded, they crept closer, drawn by warmth. The air shimmered, their faces glowing red. Fear turned to fascination. For the first time, they touched power. The storm passed, but fire remained. Sparks became torches. Torches became light in the dark. Around the flames, they shared warmth, food, and safety. Shadows on cave walls flickered like spirits telling stories. And in those shadows, imagination was born. The tribe was no longer just surviving. But the world was never empty. Across the valley, another clan watched. Hungry eyes, sharpened stones, hearts pounding. They looked at each other and saw not animals, but rivals. One shout shattered the silence. The age of cooperation met the dawn of conflict. Rivers burst their banks, sweeping away everything they knew. Mothers clutched children, men gripped stones, their lives hanging by fingers and faith. They climbed toward the cliffs, feet bleeding, hearts breaking. And when the valley drowned below, they looked around and realized they had survived because they saved each other. Morning came, golden and silent. They stood on high ground, soaked, trembling, alive. Below them, the world reborn in mud and light. They had learned something eternal. The only way to endure this world was together. By the glow of the fire, one lifted a stone and struck another. Sparks flew, edges sharpened. A new sound echoed in the cave creation. A child watched, then mimicked the motion. Knowledge passed from one mind to another, silently, instinctively. From struggle came strength. From loneliness came us. From fear came fire.
Come on, let's go! Faster!
Yes, we are happy. Let's go. Oh. Are you all right?
All right? Oh my God.
Are you all right?
What happened here?
It had eyes bigger than my thumb and it came at me.
Wow. Wow.
So it's still out there.
Hello. Is anyone there?
Hello, can you hear me? We're stuck out here. We need help right away.
Hello?
Yes, officer speaking. I need help to save a cow. There is a python in the field. Emergency! Emergency!
Run away.
Each team member has a specific task, working efficiently to gather their supplies.
Over there. She's stuck.
It's okay.
Easy now.